I'm Vladimir Kramnik, former World Chess Champion.
Actually, I'll put speed at
today
1.5x.
I would like to record something on cheating, the online cheating, the issue I'm working on for already a few months. I've started my blog on before, but today I would like to present you at the end of this video to present you a new research, a very serious one, very interesting results, and also to answer some questions. I mean, on this topic, the most crucial questions actually: why, how, and what.
Someone want to tell me where
to do
where he starts talking about stuff.
Cheat. There are several. It's people like to win. They play cheers about it. As we know it by statistics, any stimulation, see a point to do it. I mean, you just feel bad that you are a cheater. Who won the game? Yeah, you know it very well. Yeah, see the two games, and that makes them feel better. I suppose so. I mean, that's just.
I'm trying to skip to where he starts talking about in depth.
To cheat online, if it's not about prizes or money, but that is what is happening.
Last 30 minutes.
Yeah, we know it.
Oh, okay. Someone in chat says last 30 minutes is where he starts talking about. Okay.
Basic measures are still not done, so not quite sure. At least there is no big correlation between words and deeds, yeah, and what they do actually. So yeah, strange question. I absolutely believe that it must be done. It must have been done long ago, but well, I'm still waiting for this thing to happen.
It's from 45 minutes onwards. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, I said okay, thank you. It makes a lot of sense, but actually the first one is I'm already finishing my research on it.
Wait, let me go back. Wait. Where were we?
And one of the ideas that it's very interesting. It was very interesting. Was number one in his list, and it was exactly one-to-one what I'm going to present you today. And yeah, I said okay, thank you. It's
let me go back. What is he saying? I need to go back for context. 1 second.
Story that just about 2 weeks ago, a person, because I'm receiving quite often some propositions of help from mathematicians, from different people who are into this matter. And there is a mathematician with a PhD, and he's a chess amateur. He likes chess. He likes to play on chess.com as well, and he's kind of aware of this issue. And he told me, by the way, he presented me 3-4 different ideas how you can detect it, and one of the ideas that it's very interesting. It was very interesting. Was number one in his list. And it was exactly one-to-one what I'm going to present you today. And yeah, I said okay, thank you. It's makes.
By the way, I think I know who the person he's referring to is. By the way, I think I have an idea who the person he's referring to is.
Sense, but actually the first one is I'm already finishing my research on it. So that also proves that it's not let's say stupid, yeah, this idea. But yeah, if you will just listen to my explanation, to this logical chain, you can build this logical chain and understand that actually it makes a lot of sense to test it exactly in this manner. So
I did mute the
considering the above said, so let's try to think. Which games are the most likely?
I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to mute the tab.
Potentially for a potential cheater to use computer help. Let's talk about, let's say, Title Tuesday. I was checking Title Tuesday or any other money.
I gotta speed it up though.
Well,
there's nothing being said yet.
Since there is, well, it's too dangerous to use it all the time during every game. Of course, that's a bit too much. So probably what I would do in this situation is, okay, I would probably use it like 3-4 maximum.
No closed captions. There are no CCs
as I
on
mentioned
this.
already, even in one game would be very effective, but 3-4 would guarantee in a long run a very nice result, even for a player who is not really a top grandmaster. So then which games would be those? I mean, yeah, logic says, well, last rounds, probably the last round.
Yes.
Yeah, that is, I mean, if a player is fighting for prize.
He's absolutely right. So it's like, for example, say your rating is like 2,800 online. If you're 2,800 online, of course, you can probably get through the first 5-6 rounds before you have to play the absolute big dogs at the top. So what he's saying here, I do agree with. It does make sense. Like if he's looking at it from the mind of someone who's a cheater, they're gonna try to, if they're good enough, they're gonna try not to cheat until the last like 4 or 5 rounds, because they'll be good enough to just beat the 2,600s that they play before then.
Okay, that's usually you play a very strong opponent. Well, that's exactly the moment where you will probably use it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to use it before. Let's say, I mean, it doesn't exclude the fact that a player can use it in some other game earlier. But
I'm playing at 1.5
for
speed.
sure, he would use it in the last round. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. But
to win
that
the
is
money,
nothing so
money.
complicated, and actually this was already understood and I think used by chess.com as well, checking the last round. But there was in those researches there was one very serious mistake, I believe, always done. Is that not every game, not all games of the last round should be in this research. So you have to.
Oh, so what Kramnik is saying here is he's saying here is that chess.com in their research, that what they did, if I understand correctly, there are no captions. There are no captions. I can't put them on. What I think Kramnik is saying here, he's saying that chess.com is doing sort of they're taking all the games as a whole instead of focusing on like the top 20 games. That's what he's saying here. I'm putting on 1.5 speed. I mean, I can put it back on regular, but it was a little bit slow. But essentially what he's saying is that they're basically taking all the games as a whole rather than taking like the top 20 games. That's as I understand, that's what he's saying. And so like he's saying that if you take the top 20 games, let's just say for example in the top 20 games there are let's just say there are 2 games, and let's just use even numbers because 20 is a nice one. Let's just say in the top 20 boards, that's 40 players, right? And let's say 4 players are cheating, for example. That's 4 out of 40. That would be 10% of the players that are cheating. So let's just assume that, okay? Because obviously we don't know, but let's just assume 4 are cheating out of the top 20 boards. But then if you extrapolate the next, like, I don't know, 100 boards or whatever, instead of it being 4%, it goes down to like 1% or something. So I think that's what he's saying here, if I understand it correctly.
Separate the games when a player is fighting for prizes and when he lost his chances to fight for prizes. I mean, that is a very big difference. So in the second case, there is absolutely zero sense to use a computer. So that is why those games are, well, practically for sure people are not using engine hell, because what for? So then those games you have to put aside.
But on the other hand, what I would say is that that's not necessarily true. For example, I can do 1.25 as well. But for example, it's not completely true, because there have been times when I've lost a game or I've lost 2 games in a row and I'm disheartened. I play someone who's like 2,300 and I get blown off the board. I remember there was a very good example of this, I think like 3 years ago, and I think Maxime lost a game. He lost like a game or lost 2 games, and then he played someone who was like 2,000 and he just got smoked off the face of the earth. So it's not it's like situational again. It's not always completely right.
And then leave only those games when there is still a theoretical chance, at least a theoretical chance to get some prize money. And then things becoming very interesting actually. So that was my idea. I made, and then you need to compare it with something. With what you compare it? You compare it with performances. So here this test is about performances, and I was comparing it with performances of the same player
over the board, right?
In previous rounds, from in previous 4 rounds, rounds 7, 8, 9, 10. Why 4 rounds? Because, well, if you compare with round 2 or 3, the average rating of the opponents is so much lower that in fact it's becoming, first of all, very difficult to perform as well as in the last rounds, just because you have to win like practically every game to have a high performance. And secondly, because the test will become less precise. Of course, there is a big difference playing, I don't know, 2,300 player, let's say, and 2,700 FIDE rating. So that's why I took just 4 rounds, and I think that's a good enough sample, because let's say in average, I checked 18, I think, players, or 19 even. In average, the average rating was pretty equal in all those rounds. I mean, not a very big gap, and I would say that 7, 8, 9,
I don't think it's
10
comparing
rounds,
accuracy, but I don't know.
In average, like 40 games per round, so you can count it's like 160 games, 150, because sometimes people stop playing tournament if it doesn't go well. So all in all, it's a big sample. Yeah, very important. It's played not in the same day. So it's throughout the year, played like each few games in different days. So that makes it much more accurate, because, well, sometimes you just have a bad day or very good day, and then this can be explained. Certain fantastic or very bad results can be explained by that. But here, yeah, you're taking actually the whole
I
year,
wanted to
yeah.
get to
I
the gist of
started,
it. So
the
let me
research
skip ahead.
starting 10 months. I was actually selecting each round and what is the performance of players in this particular round, because it's very clear that there is no big difference. It's round 7 or 9, you know. I mean, when you play, you don't even care, I mean, what round is it, yeah, normally. So you just play a game. So there is no reason logically that, let's say, your performance in round 7 would be much higher than your performance in round 9, considering that the average rating in both of those rounds of your opposition is pretty much the same. So if you're playing fair, then why would one round be much better than another round?
Okay, let's keep going. Let's
the
go
last
forward.
round. And logically, it should
I want to
really
see some
be
data though.
much,
Like, where's the data?
higher or lower than in previous rounds. Why? Concentrated when he's fighting for the prize, so he's also motivated and concentrated. Of course, there will always be a bit of difference, but logically, I don't see. That was my presumption. Yeah, before I started to investigate.
I don't know. Let's keep going. Where's the
why,
data? Is there data in here?
Your performance in those decisive
Okay, here we go.
games,
We see some data
should
here. Okay,
be,
let's go here. Let's go here.
Then
Let's go. Let's see
those
it.
numbers will be pretty much different to the numbers of previous rounds, but I never expected it to be that different. So a little quest for you, if you want to stop the video after and think and give your answer and then listen to my to what is it, how is it in reality. So 18 cases.
Okay, 18
how
players.
many times out of 18 the difference between this performance in those games, the most important money games, and the average level in previous rounds.
So I think he already put this data out though, right? I mean, I think he put this data out already, or he did something like this, but basically what he's saying is that, like, he looked at 18 players. So I'm assuming he looked at me, he looked at Magnus, he looked at, I don't know, Fabiano, Wesley, etc., whatever it might be. And he's saying that in how many of those 18 cases did the players between the players in rounds, say 1 to 4, which of course are the early rounds, versus rounds like 7 to 10. Now, I don't know why he doesn't use round 11. Maybe that's because by round 11, a lot of players who are in the running are out. Because, like, by round 11, there probably are 3 games that matter. So probably that's the reason he does 7 to 10 instead of like 8 to 11, because he does 7, 8, 9, 10, but he doesn't leave the last round, which objectively is the most important money round. Oh, he uses 11 later. Okay, all right. So let's see how many. He's saying how many people are going to perform better, I guess.
As I mentioned, were over 100.
Over 100.
So how many times? I can remind you that 1 out of 72 was the performance in previous rounds. Now we are talking about 18 rounds, and the average deviation of this sort was 52 in previous 72 cases. So 1 out of 72, 52 is the average deviation. Yeah,
I'm confused what he's saying, but anyway, let's see the stat.
Average deviation also in those games, in most important games, and how many times it overstepped 100. I would say there was such a gap of level. Okay,
let's see the
you
stats.
can stop.
Come on, let's
now
go.
you can continue the video. I will tell you the numbers. So 1 out of 72, yeah, you remember, in the last.
Okay, so he's saying, okay, so here we go. Finally, some data. So we have round 7 to 10. He's saying player 1. This is like the average rating, I guess they perform at, or I don't know what this. I don't know what this 3079 is. This means what their rating is. I assume this means the rating, right? I mean, but it can't be because I don't see my rating here, right? Or what is? I'm confused. Is rate? Oh, this is rating performance. Okay, this is the rating performance for round 7 to 10 that they perform at, and then 7 to 10 rounds and fights for last round performance. Okay, so he's saying that there's like this number 1 is obviously a huge surprise. Like, see how the rating's 3079 and they play at 3275. And he's saying when they don't fight for prizes, they play at 3001. I assume, I'm not a math guy, but I'm guessing that he probably means like you should not play more than like 3125 or 3150 or like 3000 or whatever. Probably shouldn't be a massive deviation between 100 rating point differential, if I understand correctly. So I think that's, so yeah, it's saying difference between round 7 to 10 and round 11. He's saying there's a big difference here for round 7 to 10 and round 11. Okay, so let's see.
Last round in those important games, out of 18, 12 times the deviation was more than 100.
More than 100, right? Yeah, exactly.
18.
So he's saying these top 12, I assume, are more than 100 because he's trying to prove cheating, right? So he's trying to prove cheating. So he's saying in the positive direction. Player 18, I'm going to be honest, players 16, 17, and 18, whoever they are, these bottom three, these guys need to learn how to perform under pressure. Pun unintended, obviously, but these bottom three guys, they got to learn how to perform under pressure, because when they're in the pressure cooker, they perform much worse. These bottom three guys, they need to learn how to perform under pressure.
And the
player 17 is me.
Average deviation, so
oh wait, am I setting myself up here? Oh, don't tell me I'm number 17. Don't tell me I'm number 17. I could be though, because I actually have a lot of draws in round 11, right? But this doesn't wait, but this round 11 differentials minus 108. I could be 17 because I do make a lot of draws in round 11, and my rating is like 3200 usually. So if I'm 3200, I'm drawing at 2900. This could be me, actually. This could be me. And it is the highest rating. Wait, don't tell me. No, this is actually going the exact opposite. Don't tell me that I'm 17 after what I just said. I'm number 7, chill. Okay, but I do take a lot of draws around 11. No, this is quite the opposite. It means that I do terribly at the end, not better.
Yeah, the performance was, in previous rounds 52. Here it was 154. So 3 times higher.
Okay.
Which means basically what the idea is that the players actually
I'm blocking the difference. Sorry, 1 second.
Most of the, let's say 2/3 of the players start to play.
Bottom three are bigly negative.
2 times stronger perform 2 times better in those particular games than in any other games before. Then suddenly in this moment when you need to...
essentially what Kramnik is implying, he's basically saying roughly the top 5 players, he thinks that they're cheating. That's what he's saying, essentially, as I see it. He's saying they play 150 points on average better in the money rounds, is what he's saying. So he's essentially saying that the top 5, I think that's what he's saying. It's like the top 5 guys are cheating. That's the way that I understand it. And that maybe some of the others are, but the top 5 guys he thinks are cheating, especially this 196 point differential in the positive.
To perform fantastically to win the money, suddenly you show performance which you haven't showed earlier. Just start to win like every game, start to play like 2 times better than before. 18 out of 12 out of 18 compared to 1 out of 72.
He's going to show the names for sure. He's going to show the names.
Any more question about it? I don't say that I don't mean that every player who is suddenly performing, like genius when it's needed. I don't talk, of course, not everyone.
But show the names. Is he going to show the names now?
Absolutely clear. Again, the same mathematics. He said, okay, I expected it would be fishy, but I didn't expect it would be that bad. He said, by the way, he's now working on a mathematical formula of calculating the probability of
he will show the names. Okay, let's go. Let's see the names.
Good in any that it's happened naturally.
Let's keep going. Where are the names?
And so on. There is zero doubt. This simply cannot be mathematically. Common sense tells that you cannot start to play suddenly better everybody at the same time. By the way, some players actually are playing much out of those 12, 2 players are performing like their performance starts to collapse completely.
He will only say names at the he doesn't even say the names, so why am I watching this? He doesn't say who the names are. Oh, he's saying the names will be released later. No, seriously, you guys, does he not show the names here? Because then why did I just watch this? Yeah. If you were to ask me, I have no idea who the. I think he is saying very clearly that the top 3 players are cheaters. So that's my perception of it. That he's saying those top guys who are 196, 193, and 186 are probably cheating. That's my guess. So it isn't a great analysis. Well, without knowing the names, without I don't know. Again, yeah, it's, I don't know. I was expecting something a little bit more, shall we say, consequential or something like that. I feel like there'd be more meat to it. So yeah, no names, no watch. I mean, he doesn't say it, does he? Does he? Let me just keep going. Does he ever show the names? No, right? No, he never shows the names, so it's like it's just a debate. Yeah, okay, then why did I waste 10 minutes of my life watching this? Yeah, and until he shows the names, there's no point. Okay, he does mention Jospim in the Russian video and laughs. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, concrete's the word I'm looking for. So whatever.